Someone said it's hard to hate up close. It's much easier to hate someone who is other than you, someone that you don't understand, someone you're not exposed to. So I think the value of inclusion can't be overrated.
Lodestar is my personal belief in equal opportunity, and so that will always drive my involvement.
Giving back to the community, serve, love, peace, joy, and happiness.
Carl is extraordinarily honest in his approach to what he does. He's passionate about people and about communities and about making everybody see the big picture.
Everybody in the neighborhood knows Whitlow. He impacts the neighborhood in a real positive way.
I love people. Black and white, doesn't matter. I treat everybody equal, regardless of race.
Carl is an advocate for equality, and he's insistent upon it.
When we look at diversity and inclusion and equity, that's the money shot. And we have to be very intentional about bringing diverse voices in every room. In our business, we really see diversity as a skill. When I tell you there's so many times that if there had not been a person who was different than me at the table, there's information I wouldn't know. When I first heard of the Michigan Roundtable, I was amazed. There is a vocabulary of respect that we are obligated to learn if we care about the issue of diversity and inclusion. And they use that vocabulary.
When I first became involved with the Roundtable, it was still the National Conference of Christians and Jews. Now life is much more complicated. Diversity is a much broader subject.
Diversity and inclusion is not just a race thing. It includes every single type of difference between any person on the planet and our need and responsibility to respect and care for each other.
In addition to the Roundtable, I am Vice Chair at VIP Mentoring. The VIP stands for Volunteers in Prison. The children that we mentor, they don't have the same educational opportunities and they don't have the same opportunities outside the classroom. And so we're trying to make a small difference in their lives and try to encourage them to meet and exceed their capacity.
I actually started a nonprofit in 2003 called WAVE, the Water Access Volunteer Effort. I was on the water board and realized how many people are still, in this day and age, don't have access to clean drinking water and sanitary sewer services because of their inability to pay. So I'm still the executive director of WAVE, and we've allowed more than 10,000 Detroit families to maintain access to safe drinking water.
Carl was very involved in the study of so-called gang culture and criminality. Carl talks about frequently, especially with young men, especially young men of color in particular, the fact that them needing to understand that they have been monetized. The criminal justice system is monetized. That's big money. The healthcare system is monetized. As Carl talks to young people and will tell them, you being shot is of value to someone. That somebody is paying for that. None of that is free. Poverty is big money.
I want to hear this for Whitlow. After I struggled with major man box for 24 years, feeding the hungry, it's been a struggle. Kids get out of school, don't have nowhere to stay, they come down here. We'll take care of them with no charge.
I think that our goal to end racism is a big, audacious goal.
I guess the reality of it is just starting with dialogue. I guess that is, and I think Carl would say the same thing. But how real are people willing to get? How honest are people willing to get about that goal? And what are your expectations?
I wish that a human life was valued equally, no matter what body form that human life took. It can be disheartening every day hearing about some of the horrible judgments that we can make on each other because of differences. We are born into zip codes and into situations that we don't have any control of.
I think that some people viewed the circumstances of African Americans in our city as something of their choosing or their making, and that absolutely was not the case. They were forced into communities where mortgage lending was redlined and where homeownership was very difficult. And so, and then schools followed that pattern, and so they were forced, the children were forced into schools that did not give them the same opportunities as affluent children had.
A lot of racism is just steeped in privilege, and it goes back eons. So it's not so easy as saying, well, we're just gonna level the playing field, and it's much more complicated than we're gonna be nice. So Carl is one that will strip all of the skin off of that and passionately address those issues on both ends.
Barbershops is a way that the Black culture, especially male, communicate.
An opportunity for us to be around each other, communicate, and know that the fight is not over, but to galvanize our opportunities to get together where we might find common purposes and pursuing a social change that this country so badly needs.
The goal to end racism and to have it not just as something inspirational, but aspirational. This can really be done. I get chills just thinking that there is a group of people who really think that we could end racism, because that is how you change lives.